What is happening, YouTube and weight loss warriors? It looks like I am live on YouTube. I appreciate you guys for joining me today. So, I got a lot of stuff to do today in a short amount of time. I'm going to let you guys start trickling in as I get going, but I wanted to start by saying thank all of you for getting me to 2,000 subscribers. I mean, it's unbelievable for me to think that 2,000 people have subscribed to the channel in 7 months. So, the channel's hopefully going to just continue to grow, and hopefully we'll continue to have great things on the channel as we move forward, and all the good stuff that's going to come from that. So I appreciate each and every one of you for subscribing to the channel. Now, with that out of the way, I did have a couple of questions, so I figured the best thing for me to do was to answer the questions first while people roll in. Before, I wanted to get a little bit into a topic and then answer you guys' question. The topic today is really interesting. It's going to be on whether or not trauma can cause obesity. And I will get into the backstory of that in a minute, but I think it's a really good topic to tackle. I think it's a really cool thing to do. But I do have some questions that were dropped. Thanks for whoever hit the like button. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys. So the question, I did have a couple questions dropped, so I'm going to answer those real quick. These were dropped beforehand. If you have any that you want to know now, you can drop them over on your screen, I think on your right-hand side. Hey, what's happening, Rose? It's good to see you. So the first question is it's kind of a three-part question that he asked, and he wanted to know if there's a thing called drinking too much water. He felt like he was over drinking in his intermittent fasting time, and his weight loss results weren't quite what he wanted. So he wanted to know if there's a thing called over drinking water. And actually, you can overdrink water and die. So there is an over drinking water, but it's a ridiculous amount of water. But the more water you intake, the less electrolytes your body's going to have. It kind of washes them out. So you can overdrink, but generally speaking, it's pretty hard to overdrink. Yeah, thank you for joining. I appreciate you. But it's really hard for you to get to a point in which you're drinking too much and washing out the electrolytes. Is there a thing called water weight? Absolutely. Can your weight vary because you've overdrank? Yes, it can. But if you're drinking a gallon of water, let's just say every single day, your weight's going to stay steady throughout the whole time. So there's not really a weight shift there. But if you drink, let's say 4 glasses of water a day and you switch to a gallon, your weight is going to go up for a while before your body adjusts that weight and gets it to a steady, even level. So, you can definitely overdrink. The next part of his question was, should he dry fast after he finishes his last meal at 7 o'clock at night until the next morning when he wakes up? And if you think about that, just think about it logically, there isn't a lot of time between 7 o'clock at night and generally when you're going to bed. It's good to see you, Nancy. So ultimately speaking, yes, you can dry fast every single night. Most people are in bed, like let's say 10, 11 o'clock at night. So it's 3 to 4 hours of you not drinking fluid. One thing you can think of too is it might be helpful for you, being that if you have any issues going to the bathroom at night, maybe getting up, it's always a smart idea to cut your water off at some point or cut off your fluids at some point so that you're not peeing in the middle of the night. But at the end of the day, it's really personal choice. And is it totally necessary to cut off water at 7 o'clock? No. I don't think you're having any issues there. And then one of the reasons why I don't think you're having any issues is the last part of the question was that you've lost 2.8 pounds pretty much every week since you started. And this last week you lost 1.2. And that made you think that you were over drinking. And what I was actually thinking was, let's celebrate 1.2 pounds. I mean, seriously, 1.2 pounds lost in a week is a good job. And we overthink the weight loss, and we think that if we're not getting 3, 4, 5 pounds a week, that's crazy. If you're averaging 2 pounds a week, you're doing amazing. 2.8 is unbelievable. What's up there, the vape man? It's good to see you, my buddy. So I think you got to rewire the way you're thinking. When the scale is moving down, it doesn't matter if it's moving a pound a week or 2 pounds a week or 3 pounds a week. If it's consistently moving down, you don't have to rethink anything. 1.2 pounds a week is a good job, and you should be celebrating 1.2 pounds a week and getting yourself, a little bit more love for that. So now some people are on. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to get to another couple questions. Make sure if you have some questions, you drop them. I'm not even sure if my super chat is available, but if it is, down at the bottom, you can click on that dollar sign and make a donation if you'd like. I've never done that before, but super chat is available, and I will answer any questions with a super chat, definitely. Although I'm going to answer all the questions anyways. You guys know I love you and I appreciate you, so no big deal there. So then I had Susie ask me, what do you do to keep your mind off of food? And she went on to talk about some of the struggles and things she's having, and said that she works at a job where she's sitting most of the day. And because she's sitting most of the day, her mind is constantly on food and she can't get past it. And she can't get up and walk. She can't really leave her desk. And so, there's some issues there. And I think all of us go through that to some degree when we first start doing it. I think it's a part of the process of learning how to retreat your body and retrain your body into a machine that is okay with not eating. And so I think, there are a lot of struggles there, and I get it, but I think in time it will go away. And then, try to stay busy with the work. Try not to get online too much, and if you have breaks in work, and try not to look and think about the foods and whatever else is. Maybe plan your dinner, make sure you got it in advance. Make sure you know exactly what you're going to eat so you can look forward to that and start thinking about maybe that as opposed to it. But the best thing to do is to spend time just grinding through the process, I think, and waiting it out. What's happening, Dennis, man? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us today. So the next question I got, and I apologize for not writing down the person's name here, but it said, when shouldn't you fast? And I thought that was a really interesting question because there's multiple layers as to when you shouldn't fast. You shouldn't fast when there's a major medical issue that you need to talk to a doctor about. I'm not a doctor, so I can't give you ins and outs if you have that major medical issue. What's happening, Caroline? Good to see you. If you're pregnant, you should not fast. A lot of other small things here or there. I'd say anytime you're not feeling particularly well while fasting, you shouldn't fast. And that was one of the things that another question had come in, and it ties kind of into this. And I'm going to seem a little bit strange because I had a female ask me about the menstrual cycle in that time of month and if they should fast. And she said she was struggling fasting during that time, and the rest of the month she was fine, and wanted to know if it was okay to come all out of fasting for that 1 week. And I was thinking, well, yeah, who cares? If that's the only way you feel like you can do it, and you're going to be 3 weeks of doing the right thing and 1 week maybe you're not, try to make the healthy decisions in the week you're not. Don't go for the desserts. Don't go for the extra stuff. Keep your calories in a regimented, stricted time during that 1 week that you're not fasting, and you're going to get back to fasting and everything's going to be fine fast. So I think that that's a huge thing. So I hope that helps a little bit in understanding that you shouldn't fast whenever it is a time that you feel like you don't feel good or you're not feeling like fasting. Then don't fast. For me, I'm going to fast every day, but that doesn't mean you have to. Every one of us is different, and that's a big part of it. PTY Boxing, I just answered your questions at the beginning, so if you missed it and you got on a little bit late, fly back to the beginning. I answered the questions you had asked for me with whether or not you can drink too much water stuff. So I got to that a little bit earlier. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button up there, guys. I really would appreciate it. So let's see what Dennis has to say here. You're going to Too Mad lately and it still works. You're down. Yeah. Hey, listen, a lot of people do well on eating twice. A lot of people do. And, if you think about it, there's the 16-8 protocol. And a lot of people think they're in that 8 hours that they just eat the whole time. And they're really eating 3, 4, 5 different meals when you really think about how much they're pushing there. And so if you're able to take a step away from that and you're able to just do 2 meals, it does a really, really, really good job of making things happen. And especially for people that are hitting that maintenance level. And you can always go back to OMAD once a week or OMAD twice a week or even OMAD every other day. And you can get more on a 16 and 8 regimen. And I think that always is positive. It always helps you. So let's see here. You lost 1.8 pounds this week. It seems like less. Inches are down, but it's one day at a time. Oh, man. Yeah, no, listen, you're going to have weeks when you lose, where you go even. I went a month without losing a single pound. It's going to happen. It's one of the things with OMAD Caroline, watch her channel, love OMAD Caroline. She's killing it every single week. It's like more weight and more weight and more weight. And she just had a cute video today talking about how she's so happy to be obese and not morbidly obese, and to celebrate that. And you're so right. But ultimately, at some point, even for Caroline, she's going to hit that wall where there's going to be a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks where she does not lose the weight. And it's going to happen. But that's when you get tested. That's when you find out if you're mentally strong enough to continue to push forward and do the things you need to do to get through that moment. And if you can do that, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. So first hit the thumbs up. We know, Rose, you are amazing. Thank you so much. You've given me nothing but love. I appreciate you. Um, yeah, hit OMAD when you feel like it, and definitely, Dennis, listen to me. I know sometimes you said one day a week you like to cheat. That day should be OMAD. If you're going to cheat one day, don't do 2 meals on that day. If you're going to have pizza or something, get off your diet, make that your OMAD day, and the plateau will hit, Caroline, but you'll get through it. I know you will. You're strong. You prove it every day. So you just keep doing what you're doing. Should you do 120-day fast, or should I do shorter 3-day fasts? Felicia, that's really up to you. I've never done a 20-day fast. I really not the person to maybe ask about a 20-day fast, but I think if you have the reason to do it, not just weight results, because you're going to have in a 20-day fast, you might have 14, 15 pounds you lose. And then once you eat again, you're going to only have lost 7. And so maybe even 6. And so then if you get depressed about that and you don't look at it like, wow, I've lost 6 pounds, then you're going to really mess with your own psyche a little bit there. So I think if you're going to go extreme, I like 48-hour fast with 5 days of OMAD, 6 days of OMAD, and throw some 40-hour fasts in there, 48 hours. I think that's powerful. I think it feels good. And I don't think it's as much as a 20-day, but if you're going to go on a 20-day, make sure you got somebody, checking you out and making sure all of your vitals and stuff are good. And if you've got all that, you've got the medical professional helping you, 20 days, go for it. You'll lose some weight, and you'll heal your body too. I just have never done it. You learn a lot. Thank you so much, Kat. I appreciate it. I appreciate your support. You were on a 5-week plateau. Yeah, I remember, Dennis, you were writing me all the time saying, this isn't working. This isn't working. And what did I keep telling you, Dennis? Just stick to it. Just stick to it. Just stick to it. And eventually you did, and you busted through. So, it's going to be there. So I'm going to take a minute to start talking about the topic I want to talk about, because I got you guys in here now strong, and I think you guys are going to be interested in this. So I was at our school's personal development meeting the other day. And so we were being personally developed. And the topic was on kids that have had trauma young ages, and how their brains aren't quite wired the same way as everybody else's, and how we can work with those kids. By the way, guys, 17 of you in here, hit that thumbs up. I appreciate it. But in the process of them talking about this topic, a very important topic, the lady had told us a story. So I'm going to reiterate her story to you and then get into my point. And her story was that she went to this health clinic, and in this health clinic, it wasn't her, excuse me, it was a person that taught her in medical school. And the person that taught her in medical school was in a obesity health clinic. That's what he was in for school for. And he was a resident, and he was in this obesity center working with overweight people, and about 100 people stayed at the facility. And they had these people diet and exercise, and they had them on a routine, and they were all morbidly obese. All of them were 400 plus pounds. And he had a lady in there, and she went from 404 pounds. 52 weeks later, she stayed in the facility for 1 year. She had gotten down to 132 pounds. And he was just blown away by her progress. She was really close with him. And so they released her from the facility, and she had a 3-month follow-up. When she came back to the 3-month follow-up, you guys can guess down, if you want to, type in the comments how much weight you think she gained. But she did a 3-month follow-up. She came back over 50 pounds heavier. She had gained 50 pounds in 3 months. And he didn't know what was going on. So he was blown away. And he sits this woman down, and he starts to just give some therapy and try to figure out why this weight gain. And he said like 6 hours with this woman trying to figure out why she had gained the weight. And through the process, he ended up finding out that she was molested several times by an uncle, I believe, through the course of her life, and that she had broken away from that at some point in her teens, and she started to gain weight. And when she got out of this facility, she was working a real job, and she was doing really well. And one of her coworkers had made a pass at her, and it immediately triggered her, and she started to go out and eat again. And she had told him that when she's heavy that men don't like her, and it's one of the reasons why she wanted to overeat. And so he started to think, and so he polled these 100 people that he had at this clinic, and he gave them all an anonymous letter and said, how many of you have been abused either physically, sexually, emotionally, whatever. How many of you have suffered traumas? And he had a list of traumas that they could look down, and like 65 of the 100 wrote back that they had been traumatized. So that immediately made him go back into school and go into therapy, because he realized how much these people were impacted by that. Now, I am not at all saying that all overweight people have been or had traumatic experiences. I definitely have not had a major traumatic experience in my life, but I found that it was super interesting to find out that a lot of issues that we have, and even myself, although there was no traumatic experience, I definitely ate my emotions. And I definitely, whenever there was problems and struggles, I turned to food instead of turning to, solid, fundamental, ideas and such. And now I find that I've turned to maybe exercise a little bit more than I would have in the past. And so I think it's a powerful thing to realize that we overeat a lot because of traumatic experiences in our life. We overeat a lot because we're hiding from emotions. And then the last thing, which wasn't addressed by this group, but it's a fact, we overeat a lot because our system is set up for us to overeat. So they're really getting us three different ways. And so, that puts us in a spot where obesity is continuing to grow in our country and obviously spiral out of control. So I don't know if you guys got any thoughts on that. You can drop them over there in the comments, but I just thought it was interesting to take a minute and think that, because you're more likely, and now it's been scientifically proven, he's done a bunch of studies and whatnot since then, but it's been scientifically proven that you're more likely to gain weight after you've had a traumatic experience than those people that have never had one, which is an interesting topic. Also, on that topic, that obesity clinic, he was talking about how then she died at 42 years old. After she was released, she ended up having a bypass, gained over 100 pounds and had a gastric bypass, and then never really recovered well from that, and ended up dying at 42 years old, which is just a tragedy in itself. So, that's good. So LA Beard Man, look, how did I help you break you through your plateau, man? I'm glad that I did. I would love to hear what bit of advice you took on to there and you looked at. And then Dennis, you said you got your blood work in. That's great. And you walk 20,000 steps every day. Now, hey, listen, that's amazing. I know I'm an advocate person when it comes to talking about the fact that we need to walk. I think walking is a vital and huge important part of our journeys, and I think all of us need to get into it. Obviously, if you can't walk, it's very difficult to get into it. But if you're healthy enough to walk, you got to get out there and walk. And 20,000 steps is amazing. That's even better than me, Dennis. To be honest with you, I'm probably averaging 15. Today, I only got like 12. Today was a bit of a struggle. I don't know why exactly it was, but I've hit a super big week this week. I've already walked a bunch of kilometers. And so being that I've already walked so many kilometers, I think that my body just didn't want to do it today. So when I was out there grinding it out, I was like, man, this is a little bit of a struggle, but I'm getting back into the swing of things. And that's the important part of the situation. So getting that 20,000 in is an amazing thing. And that also reminded me, of one other thing that I had read, I think in my Facebook group, the Fasting Club. It's not my group. It's Nurse Eric's group, but it's the group I'm most active in, although I haven't been active lately. But I was reading along and somebody had asked about what their blood work was like when they and if anybody had seen any improvement. And Dennis just mentioned that his blood work looked perfect. My blood work the last couple of times I got it is just impeccable. And I also know my uncle, which is on the older side of things, for the first time has good blood work. My father, for the first time, has good blood work. So I definitely think fasting can help with your blood work. I definitely think eating less helps with your blood work. And I think that ultimately speaking, you guys know I've gone over before in the past, but we overeat. And and one of the most important things you guys can learn in the world is that we we like to make excuses. I'm overweight. My excuse I hung my hat on for 20 years was my knee hurts. I'm overweight because my knee hurts. I'm overweight because, of this or that. I'm busy all the time and I don't have a chance to cook. And I don't, or somebody will say I'm single and I don't have anybody to help me with stuff. And so I'm meeting, and, the excuses roll on and on and on. And I think that it's the hardest part of getting your weight loss together is understanding that it's your fault. And when we push the blame onto other people, we never can get ourselves into a situation where we can fix the actual problem, which lies within us. And I'm not trying to be at all disrespectful. I hope it doesn't come off that way, because I was 312 pounds and I know what it's like to be overweight. I know what it's like to be obese, and I know what it's like to barely be able to function and move. And I know you can get there a lot easier than people want to admit. You can get into a situation where you didn't even realize it. You just wake up one day. I mean, you guys got to think, you're young and you're getting your first job and you're paying your bills, and then you're meeting this person and y'all are eating more than you ever were before, and you start to form a relationship, and that creates kids, and then these kids have your attention and your needs, and you just start rolling, and then it's day in and day out and day in and day out and day in and day out, and you look up and 10, 15, 20 years has gone past, and in that process of time you were going so fast, you never stopped to take care of yourself. And when yourself came into the picture, you push it off as an excuse of why you can't fix yourself right now. Well, my kids are in elementary school. Once they get to high school, I'm going to have more time. Or, my wife needs this or that, or my mom is getting older, or my dad is getting older, and I need to get this person, is not healthy. And I've got to figure out what to do there. And financially, I don't have enough money. And whatever it is. And it happens to everyone. I'm going to tell you now, we all are bumping into struggles and problems and issues. And if you don't stop and pay attention, it will go by so fast. And the next thing you know, you wake up and you're not the person that you thought you were. You look in the mirror and the person that's reflecting back to you isn't there. I can't tell you how many times I've heard somebody say they started their weight loss journey after they saw a picture of themselves. And I know, as an overweight person, I can think of at least a dozen times when we took a picture doing something, and then I come back and I look at the picture and I'm just mortified at myself. And in that moment, you have the opportunity, when you're faced with your own decisions, you have the opportunity to admit that you did that and fix it, or continue to make excuses. And I think that that's where we as a group of people need to come together, and we need to say, you know what, I need to come up with less excuses. I need to do more. I need to push myself more. And I think that if you do that, things are going to be all right. So let me check back over to the chat. How does it feel when you lost a lot of weight? I've never been skinny in my entire life. Well, listen, Kat, I'm going to tell you the truth here. I didn't know I was sick. And I mean, look, when I was little, I was heavy. And in high school, I lost weight. And I kind of became not a great athlete, but I was a decent athlete. I was doing my thing. I was working out every day, and I felt really good, and I hurt myself, and then the weight piled on. And like I just said, 20 years, zoom, gone, and I'm looking at myself like, who is that guy looking back at me? And in the process of that, I never realized that I was sick. And so how does the losing weight feel? I'm sure even when you were heavier as a kid, you can remember how it was to just go outside and run around and play and not think about being tired or not think about struggling. You just kind of did it. And that's what all kids do. You run out there and you're just cruising and you're cruising and you're cruising and you're having fun and you're not thinking at all about anything. And for me, I think that's what it reminds me of. Now, of course, I can't run around because I still don't have a knee. I mean, it's 3 knee replacements. I can't run. But I can go out and move and do things, and I don't feel like I'm going to die anymore. And it's a gift. That's what it feels like most of all, is a gift. And Kat, I think that if you're doing intermittent fasting, especially if you're doing OMAD, and you're grinding it out, and you're doing it day in and day out, and you're not coming up with excuses. I don't know. I don't care if you're keto. I don't care if you're carnivore. I don't care if you're paleo. If you're just doing one meal a day, you're going to lose weight. You're going to feel better. And eventually you're going to be, skinny for the first time in your life. And we will celebrate it because it is going to be an amazing day. So down from 375 to 310, current goal is 250. And you're stuck between for about a month and you finally broke that. Hey, listen, LA Beard, man, that is amazing. Listen, I started at 312. I'm 5'9", so I'm not sure how tall you are. I'm guessing you're pretty tall. But I think that you're going to hit those plateaus and you're going to have to, just continue to buckle and grind and work at it, and you'll bust through those plateaus. So I'm glad to hear you're finally getting back to getting the weight loss down. If you hit another plateau, think about adding walking in. If you're already walking, make sure you're getting a good night's rest. Make sure your OMAD meals are adequate, but not overeating it, and you'll break through that plateau. I know OMAD Caroline talked about it a couple of times about the whoosh effect too. Sometimes your body is actually burning fat. You should always do measurements because sometimes your body's actually burning fat and you're getting smaller, but it's actually holding weight intentionally because it has space there. Your fat moves away, but everything that was built into that fat is there. And until you get some autophagy and some things in there to reduce that back, your body can hold it. And then one way, and all of a sudden you lost 10 pounds. So, you've been in a plateau for a month. And then when you get through on the other side of that plateau, all of a sudden it's like whoosh, 10 pounds is off you. That does happen to people. So I think if you keep grinding, you'll get there for sure. And accountability is huge, so yeah, definitely don't give up. 6'3", yeah. So you're a good 5 inches taller than me. So I think I think you're doing great, and I think 250 is a reasonable goal. And then I don't know too if you feel like ultimately, if you're going to be lifting weights and doing those kind of things too. But remember, building muscle, if you're lifting, adds weight to you, and muscle weighs more than fat. So if you add 2 pounds of muscle, obviously 2 pounds of muscle and 2 pounds of fat are the same amount of weight, but 2 pounds of fat is a large amount of fat and 2 pounds of muscle is a little bit of muscle. So sometimes you're adding muscle and you don't even see the muscle you're adding, and it's taking away fat, and you may see it, but you're not recognizing it on the scale. And that's okay. A really good example of that is in April when I was lifting, I ended up going from 192 to 186. And in that process, I lost a lot more inches everywhere. And I probably ended up losing more than 15 to 20 pounds of actual fat. And the rest I put on was actually muscle to replace that. So, you got to always keep in mind that balance when you're lifting weights. Definitely do measurements. If you're not doing measurements, ladies and fellas, you're just not doing it right, because those measurements can really, really motivate you when you hit those plateaus and that tough times and really get you going. I think it's a huge, huge part. Okay, you lose 8 kilos in 13 days on OMAD. Yeah, that's amazing. You just got to, well, listen, is that unhealthy? That's a good question. Listen, a lot of people, and a lot of times you'll see this, you'll see somebody advertise, you can lose 52 pounds and, or it'll be more like 17 pounds in 21 days. And you'll hear stories about people saying, I lost, 15 pounds in 2 weeks. And all of that can happen, but a lot of times it's not real. And so, like, I'll use wrestling for an example. I have wrestlers that will literally lose 15 pounds in a week to get to a certain weight class. And the second after we weigh in, they've gained 12 back. And that's the real world. I mean, you can only really burn about a pound or two in a week. A really working at it, you can burn that much real weight. So when you see a loss like that, it's probably not all fat. It's probably a lot of water, but you can be holding a bunch of water too. So it's not necessarily a bad thing to see that 12-pound week or that 10-pound week or something like that. And also, when you first start, if you're morbidly obese, you can actually burn because your body's so not used to moving. And if you get moving and you get going, you can actually burn more fat than you generally would. And you can have a big 12 pounds of fat week in the very beginning. But as you move closer to your goal weight, it's going to be harder for you to do. So that's just something for you to keep in mind. Yeah, I can't wait to celebrate with her too either, Caroline. Man, weight loss is nothing better than it. Mika, thanks for joining me. And Mika, you're strong as bejesus. I've seen you in the gym. You're not Mika's no punk. So I I appreciate you saying that. But Mika, you got muscle, and I know you might be able to build some more muscle, but you got muscle. I've seen you do some stuff, so you just keep on grinding. So, um, well, I appreciate you saying I'm the best motivator, hands down. I do appreciate it. That's what I'm here to do. I actually started, as crazy as it sounds. I'll give you this story since Dennis brought that up. So I started YouTube in January, and I literally started it because I was like, I have found the answer to everything. I have found the answer to weight loss. And I wanted to just get on there and say, hey, listen, I found the answer. Stop eating, do OMAD. That's it. Got it. No more YouTube channel, just telling you. And I thought nobody's ever going to watch it. I even started a YouTube channel, just with the actual idea that maybe 3 people lose weight because they watched my channel. They accidentally stumbled across my channel. And, you get into it and it starts to become kind of a game where it was like, well, maybe if I grind harder, maybe if I was going to do a video a week, and then I thought maybe 2 videos a week. And now I post 5 times a week. Sometimes I post more than that. And so I think over the course of time, you start to get into it, and then it becomes something that is bigger and larger than you could have ever dreamed it to be. And celebrating 2000 here with this video, that's what the live is about today, is something that I didn't think I could do in 7 months. I didn't think I could do it in 7 years. But now I'm in a situation where I think anything is possible. I think that I have a message that needs to be heard. And I think that when a message needs to be heard, something in the universe is going to make it heard. And if I can continue to grind out these videos, and I can continue to stay motivated, to continue to post, to ignore the haters, and I can continue to put effort that I have put into it over 7 months, over the next 7 years, I think I can make a difference in the world. And making a difference in the world is something that not all of us get to do. And having a platform like YouTube that's going to allow me to maybe do that is something that is incredible, that I never thought was possible. I just switched over to being monetized a little bit ago, which actually means I make money from the annoying ads they run on my channel now. And as you guys know, I told you, I think I activated Super Chat. I'm not even really sure if that's working or not, but the Super Chat is available too. So all of these things start to bring revenue in, but it's really not about the revenue. What it's about is the fact that down the comments today, people have said that I'm impacting them, that I'm helping them, that I'm motivating them. And that is what it's all about. And that list of people grows all the time. And it's starting to grow in my personal life too. I've had a couple of teachers come up to me this year saying they're doing it. I've had a couple of people that are close to me it's expanding more. So the more that I can stand here on the top of the mountain and yell, the better. And I think a funny thing is I tell you guys all the time, you don't have to talk about it. In your journey, you don't have to talk about it. And I talk about how awkward it was and how I didn't talk about it. Remember, I'm not like Mika or Caroline where they're losing weight now. I started this channel after I lost weight. I did not start this channel through the middle of my journey. And part of it was because I was embarrassed of who I was, but more importantly, I felt like I had a message after I had had success. After I had done it, I felt like now people I can help people. But I thought it was going to be harder to reach people. Not that it's not hard, but I have an incredible amount of energy to go out and try to find people, to do whatever I have to do to put my channel in front of somebody's face. And the more people's faces I put the channel in front of, obviously the better it's going to be, and the more messages grows, and you guys out there sharing and talking to people about me grows my channel too. So I appreciate every one of you. I think that it's been an incredible journey, and I can't wait to see where it goes. I really can't. I can't wait to see where I'm going to be in 7 years, but more importantly, how many of you guys are going to be totally different people. One of the amazing things that I think about on this channel is I'm creating a community of people that I've got their back and they've got my back. And this community of people isn't going anywhere. Where is OMAD Caroline going to be in 7 years? And Mika and John and Kat and Dennis and all these people that are supporting me and hopping on my channel, and Rose and everybody, right? Tattoo Vegan, the list goes on and on and on. And it is a family, Mika. It is a family. And so what ends up happening is in 7 or 8 years, we're going to be a healthy group of people. I almost did a cuss word there, trying to stay out of that. But we're going to be a healthy group of people that's lives have been given back to us. And as my community grows, all of you are going to create communities in your own way, whether that's in your neighborhoods, whether that's through your own channels, whether that's, with friends and family and coworkers, but it spreads like a virus. And as the word spreads like a virus, we can take back the world. And we're in a place right now where kids today have a shorter life expectancy. A kid born today has a shorter life expectancy than their parents. And the reason behind that is because the obesity rates are tumbling out of control. And I've got an opportunity to fight the good fight. And even if I lose and I never reach, the promised land of YouTube, and I never make, an impact like I want to make now, where I was beginning, I thought maybe I could change 3 people's lives, and now maybe I can change tons of people's lives, right? And maybe I don't ever get to. Maybe I only get to change the people that are here today. But with that said, I think that I'll at least know I was fighting the good fight, and that all of you were fighting it with me. So I appreciate all of you. So make sure if you got a question, you drop it. Let me get caught back up. Thank you. Okay. Keep posting my videos. Yeah, I'm going to, John, man. I'm going to keep posting 5 times a week. I got 2 coming up right now that I've done. They're edited and ready to go. I'm going to let this thing marinate on Saturday. So I won't post on Saturday, but Sunday I've got one up, and Monday I've got it. Well, I'm probably going to post on Tuesday. Monday being a holiday, I'm going to give you guys a break from my ugly face. But Tuesday, I got a video for you guys, man. I think you guys are really going to enjoy Tuesday's video. And then I've got a list of them that I want to film. And I don't mind filming videos for you specifically. So if you have a question, let me know. Say, hey, can you make a video about this topic or that topic, people? I will get to it. I will make it happen. I've done it for Dennis. You can ask him. I've made him a video before. So if you need a topic, you want to hear about something, hit me up. I'll make it happen. So, yeah, I do got a lot of passion for OMAD, and fasting in general. I've got no problem with anybody 16-8 in it or 20-4 in it or every other day and, alternate day. And whatever it is you do it. I'm excited for you. So, I appreciate you guys. I'm glad I keep you motivated, and definitely a family. Meek, I already saw that one earlier, made a little comment. And Julie joined us. Julie right over there. That's the lady right there. It's so good to see you, Julie. I hope you're doing well. I hope your weight is where it needs to be and you're feeling good about it. You can let me know over there. She's a great supporter, and she supports my man Randy too. Randy Trucker, man. He's the dude. So hopefully Randy will hop on in here in a minute. Hey, you just caught me. Looking forward to all my videos. Yeah, I do got those couple coming up this week for sure, and I got a list of other ones in the future down the line. I'm definitely going to bring Chris from Healthy Alternative to my channel. He wants to do a pop in here and talk to you guys. So that probably won't happen for a few weeks because that guy is super busy, man. What an amazing guy he is. Hey, thank you for saying, my guy. Hey, I appreciate you joining me. I do. But Chris is going to hop in, and we're going to try to do one. And then also Danny, which I did the other channel for on, the vegan OMAD over there. He wants to pop in too. So I do got a couple of strong people that want to sit down with me. I'm looking for some success story people. A lot of people that lose weight aren't comfortable getting in front of the camera. So it's kind of difficult to find people that want to sit in front of the camera and talk. But I don't know if you guys can let me know a comment on the side. But I feel like bringing other people in that have had success is a great thing to do. And then, the fasting fat man and I are talking about getting together one more time as well. We'll bring him in and have him cover some of his OMAD journey. And I think now he's doing OMAD carnivore. So you can kind of talk about, what made him shift and why he decided to go the directions he's going. So, it's steady going downward. Hey, that's what it's all about. It's all about. So definitely good time to drop the comments over there, peeps. I appreciate you. I'll do one when I get to my goal weight. Hey, yeah, John. Yeah, I would love to have you on when you get to your goal weight, my friend. And anybody else that wants to sit down and do one. I think it's really motivating to understand that each one of us has a different journey. It's one of the things that's hard about doing a YouTube channel is I think a lot of people, well, you got a two-sided story here, and this is what a lot of people don't understand. One, you want to help people. So let's take a large YouTuber like Thomas, right? Thomas has got 1 million subscribers, right? So many people care what he has to say, or Dr. Berg, right? These guys are the biggest of the big on YouTube and talking about intermittent fasting. And so in the process of them being so huge, they have a two-sided story because both of them probably generally want to help you. Both of them probably got into helping for the right reasons, but now they're in a situation where their channels have grown and they don't have the time because they're answering so many questions. They have so many appearances. They have so many things they have to do. They have to talk to so many different people. Their phones are ringing off the hook. They don't have a time to invest into everything the way that they would want to. On the other side, because to work a real job and to do things like when I say a real job, I mean obviously YouTube's a real job for them, but I'm saying a 9 to 5 traditionally. So they can't do that because their YouTube channel is too big. I think Chris is a good example from Healthy Alternative where he was telling me how his channel is getting so big it's hard to keep up with. And so you get to a point where your YouTube becomes your full-time job. Well, once you've made that commitment, once you said, okay, YouTube is my full-time job, I have no other revenue, YouTube is my revenue. Once you've made that commitment, now you actually have to make money. That's difficult. And so you take somebody like Thomas, he has to make money. So in order for him to make money, he has to sell product. He has to come up with something that makes you as a viewer click on his product and buy it, because the ad revenue on YouTube, let's be real, we're making, and some people are making less than a penny per every time somebody views them. So you can do the math there. If you get a 100,000 views, what did you make? So you're really not making a great amount of money on ad revenue. So then that's when the courses and the products and all of that stuff starts to come into play. And you can't blame somebody for doing that, because ultimately speaking, they want to help. And the only way they can help is to commit full-time into it. And the only way they can commit full-time into it is if they get something out of it. So it's a give and take relationship there. And when you're doing that, you don't hear a lot of variety because there's only a certain amount of products. And this was my point, John. So when you get somebody on here that's actually done it, that's not selling something to you, it's powerful. So that's why I liked having Josh come on and Chris come on and different people that have had success and sit down and interview them, Kayla Cox, because it gives you an opportunity. Now I know you could say Kayla Cox is selling too, which is true, but Kayla Cox did it the right way first and then got into it, and she's sharing just how she did it. And her products are generally about classes, not necessarily something to buy. So I think ultimately the more regular people that you can sit down and interview that have done it, that aren't in it to sell anything, the better for my viewers, for the weight loss warriors to sit back and say, you know what, we can watch this guy, we can learn from his journey and not have to worry about, whether or not we're drinking the right shake in the morning, And I think that's where a lot of times we get caught in the, well, what shake do we have to do? I'll throw this too at you real quick. Today, I was opening my personalized checking account for this channel because YouTube is paying me, and it's just a bunch of loopholes and things I have to jump through to make sure I can actually get paid now. And in the process of doing that, I'm sitting with the lady opening the account, and she asks me why I wanted to have an account under my YouTube channel name, and so I had to talk about my channel and then talk about weight loss. And she was like, I've lost, which is really interesting. She was like, I've lost 57 pounds doing keto and intermittent fasting. So I talked to you guys about mainstream. Here's another lady sitting across from me at a bank that's probably 55 years old, that's lost 57 pounds eating keto and doing intermittent fasting. And so in the dialogue, though, going back and forth with her was an interesting thing. So I'm not exactly sure which direction I was going to go with that, but the bottom line is it is growing, and that's a good thing, and that's cool to know. So let me see what we got going on here. I already saw you say studying on 9, you'll do one. Okay. Down 30 since July 4th. Wow. That is good stuff. I mean, down 30 pounds. I mean, June, July, 2 months. I mean, 2 months, 30 pounds is amazing. I can't tell you guys enough. If you're doing those kind of numbers, you're killing it. Just know that it will slow down, and you will have some issues down the line. With the closer you get to your weight, the slower the weight's going to come off you. And that's something everybody's got to keep in mind. You know, you drop big numbers in the beginning, and it consistently goes down after that. So for those guys that are still with me, make sure you're hitting that little like button right here. You know, beep, 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 17 people. I need that number to keep going up and up and up. So anyways, I would love those problems. Which problems? Oh, the money problems, Mika. Hey, listen, Mika. I would love them too. You know. Now, look, there's nothing wrong with, and I'm going back real quick to it, but there's nothing wrong with making money from YouTube, and there's nothing wrong with growing your channel and getting viewers and people subscribing and people, you know, doing all. Nothing is wrong with any of that, and I mean, no disrespect to Thomas or Dr. Berg. Both of them are crushing it. I have no idea how much money both of them are worth, but they are doing an amazing job financially. I'm just saying, as a viewer, you got to know the person that's sitting across from you and what they're trying to say. One of the things, like Dr. Berg, look up his medical profession, and you'll see he doesn't have anything to do with nutrition or anything at all with that. He's a chiropractor. Dr. Berg is literally a chiropractor that's using the doctor in his name to tell you about nutrition. So, you know, how much of his stuff is 100% accurate or right? It's really hard to tell because he is pushing a product. I do think if you follow what he says, you'll lose weight. And I do think he's trying to do the right thing, but he's also trying to make money. And you just kind of have to balance that and understand where the person's coming from. Right now, I'm hashtag sponsored by no one. So my hand isn't in any cookie jar anywhere. You know, YouTube's cutting me a baby check. That's about all I'm getting right now. So, you know, I've got no filter when it comes to that. I'm going to tell you what I honestly believe, but you know, you can't. If I had 1 million subscribers, I don't know. I mean, you got to look at it. I'm hopefully still trustworthy, but you know, maybe I pull, you know, the chiropractor too. I don't know, you know. But bottom line is, I mean, no disrespect to him though. I watch his videos to this day. I think he's a good dude, but I also know he's trying to sell me products, so I'm not gonna fall too much for that. You're at 368, a long way to go. Well, listen, hey, you got to start somewhere to get there, and there's nothing wrong with 368 and working on it. You know, bottom line is you're working on it, and that's what the big deal is. You know, there have been lots and lots of people that are much heavier than you that have done it, and you can do it too. And I know you can, and I know you're watching my channel religiously, and you're trying your hardest. And so right now, it's just a matter of putting one foot in front of another and continuing to lose that weight. And I mean, you said you're already down 30, so you were pushing 400 pounds. And it's going to be amazing to hear when you're under 200, you know. And money is always a problem, Meek. It's a problem in everybody's life. You know, even people that have money, money's a problem, you know. So it is what it is. But, you know, I think we'll be okay, Mika. You know, I know you and I should have a private conversation one time so we can laugh at how little we make on YouTube. But you know, hey, it is what it is. Not that I have anything to hide. I make squat, so they're paying me baby money, baby checks. So, do I have any tips for when you hit a plateau? I have plenty of tips for when to hit a plateau. Start with increasing your activity. Walking, I recommend. I think it's the best thing to do when you hit that plateau. Hit the pavement. Cut back a little bit at your dinner. If you're eating something sweet or desserty every day, cut that out for a couple of weeks. Continue to do it. That's the number one thing. If you're hitting a plateau, continue to stick to your plan. Like, so if you're eating one meal a day, keep doing it. If you're not eating one meal a day, try to shrink your window a little bit. You think about it, if you're on a 16-8 plan and you go to an 18-6, that may be enough to kickstart you right into it. And lastly, if you're doing even 16-8 or OMAD, do 1 day of fasting a week, and that will knock you through that plateau. Just take 1 day and say, I'm going to not eat this whole Monday, not going to touch food, and go back to your schedule. If you're eating OMAD, that gives you a free 48-hour fast. If you're eating a 16-8, it gives you a free 36-hour fast. That fast right there will knock you through your plateau. You'll be able to go. And if you do that every day for a month and then get back to your regular routine, so you do it 4 times, you're going to knock through that plateau. Your numbers are going to start moving down. You can get back to something you're more comfortable with. Although I'm telling you guys, this is funny. I told all of you, I fasted probably more than 6 months, almost the entire school year last year. I fasted every Monday, did not eat. And I had just talked to my wife the other day, and we were talking about this year, and we were planning on who would cook when and whatever else. And the process, I just out of my mouth said to her, yeah, I think I'm going to fast on Mondays again. And she was kind of like, oh, really? Like, yeah, why? Well, I'm busy in a routine, and Monday's my day to fast. So this whole school year, I don't think I'm going to eat on Monday. And I'm at maintenance right now. So, although I might kick it into gear, I'm thinking about maybe kicking it into gear and losing another 10 just for fun. But if I don't, I don't. But I'm thinking about getting that done. But I am going to fast, I think, every Monday of the school year. Maybe not on a break like a Christmas break or whatever else. I'll get back to my regular routine. But that 48-hour fast is golden, guys. I'm telling you, 48-hour fast once a week and eat OMAD, the weight's going to fly off you. It really, really is going to fly off you. So if you need more tips, let me know. Hopefully I answered your question there. Yeah, down 30 is awesome. And you just need to keep on going. I keep losing it. It's so embarrassing. Mika, it's not embarrassing. Oh man, guys, if you've never checked Mika's channel out, head over when we get off and check out Mika's channel. Mika's in the middle of her journey, and she's she's the best. I love you, Mika. I love your channel. I don't love when you gain weight. It hurts my soul a little bit, but I got your back. Keep grinding at it and just find that thing. We've been talking about it for months now, but find that thing, whether that be 16-8, whether that be OMAD, What I would love to see you do, Mika, here's what I would love to see you do. You're you do you. I'm not telling you what to do, but I would love to see you do 16-8 with nothing but a salad, with not a fat dressing or anything like that, something really good and healthy for your first meal, and then your regular OMAD dinner, nothing else. I'd like to see you fast 1 day a week, pick whatever day you want, and the rest of the week, a nice salad, 4 hours before your big meal, and a 20-ish hour fast is actually what I'd like to see you do. I think if you did that, I think you'd find out you could do it forever. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. And of course, I'd love to see you do OMAD. OMAD with a day of fasting, Mika. That's do the C-Dub diet for what? Let's do 2 weeks, 14 days of the C-Dub diet, Mika. That's the challenge. 14 days of the C-Dub diet, and then come on my channel and tell everybody how the 14 days went. It's good for you. It would be good for both of us. So, anyways, this weekend might be a challenge. Hey, look, every weekend can be a challenge. It definitely can be. Lots of stuff go on. Yeah, Mika does a great job of keeping track on her whiteboard. Yeah, thank you. You're so scared to do a 48-hour fast. How do you mentally prepare for that? Wow, I don't know if you do mentally prepare for it. You just got to kind of dig right in. I think the first thing to do, are you doing OMAD? If you're doing OMAD, then try to just miss that OMAD meal and it's 48 hours. If you're not doing OMAD, let's get to a 24-hour fast first and then work your way to a 36 and then try a 48. So, if you're scared to death of something, definitely shy away from it. Try moving a little more. Build up to it, guys. I say it all the time. Build your fasting muscle, right? You have to build your fasting muscle. So I'm going to read a little bit more if you haven't done it right up here. Right there. Hit that like button, people. Come on. All right. The answer to the title, yeah, man. Hey, it is what it is, right? Your scale is on the fritz. What's wrong with your scale, man? Crass, what's wrong with your scale? Um, that sounds great, but why I can't have any dressing? You can have dressing, Mika. You can have dressing. I just don't want fat. Like not fat when I say okay, because there's good fats. I don't think you should be grabbing a dressing that is very high in calories. I'll put it to you that way. I think if you can stay away from a high caloric calorie dressing so that your salad isn't 1,000 calories, your salad's more like 300 calories, I think it would be better. But I want to see OMAD 14 days with a fast on one. That's it. And a dry fast on Thursday. So Monday, don't eat. Thursday, dry fast. Give it 2 weeks. See your weight loss results. Let me know how you're feeling. Come on my channel, talk about it. I think it's a good time. But we'll see. Okay. Yeah, you're doing OMAD. It has been for 3 weeks. So you've tried doing a 48-hour fast once but failed. Okay, listen. I'm going to tell you what. You've been doing OMAD for 3 weeks. I think you keep doing it. Exercise fasted. So get your walk in, if you're going to do treadmill or elliptical or whatever, get it done fasted. If you do that, I think you'll start seeing the scale move. And then in about a month, start trying to add in 1 48-hour fast, even if it's once a month in a month, just to get used to it, try to just miss the dinner. And what I found is once you're in the groove of OMAD, if you can stay busy for the hour you normally would eat, you won't even think about the food because you'll stay busy through that hour. Then you'll go into your nightly routine and you'll already be past the eating phase of your day. And once you're past the eating phase of your day, all of a sudden you're into the next day and it's just a fast through your next day. Another thing too, although a lot of people would say it's taboo, is drink some diet soda during your day or something to make yourself feel a little bit like, oh my God, I'm not, just to help you get through in the beginning. And then you can go clean and go back to water. But a little bit of something like a Zevia with some bubbles in it, for me, I think made me feel better on a 48-hour fast when I first got into it. But, just my 2 cents. So it says low and it's spitting out the wrong numbers. Man, nothing worse than if your scale's not working, It probably is the batteries, having a good scale is important. Having a good scale is expensive. A good scale can run you $350. Scales are expensive. I use my wrestling scale. It gets certified every year. It's $1,000 scale. But I know that most people don't have access to one of those. But having a good scale is super important. So yeah, having a good salad, you prefer oil-based dressing. Yeah, I mean that oil-based is fine. Especially, and even, yeah, fats aren't bad, so we got to get over that mentality of it, but it is what it is. So, yeah, nice and tangly Italian. Yeah. So yeah, Mika, man, definitely just keep at it. Whatever you do, whether you do, whether you try to do C-dubs diet one day or not, bottom line is be true to yourself, but don't quit. Just keep grinding at it because at some point it's going to click. And at some point, the answer to what you've been looking for is going to be there. But if you stop looking for it, then you're not going to find the answer, which is ultimately tragic. So and listen, Mika, I want you to think about something because I don't know when you started, but I found your channel early from after I started. And there's so many people you and I have supported, been to their channel and talked to, said nice things to, really enjoyed their content that are no longer out there. And I've only been at it for 7 months. So you think about all of those channels that have come and gone and will pop back up later, starting their journey again after now they've gained weight and they got off of it and they weren't doing the right things. And all of those people that ultimately most likely failed and have cut off, not that their YouTube failed, but they just quit on themselves. And Mika, you haven't. We're 7 months into this together. I don't know how long you've been doing it, but we're 7 months together. I look at it like that because that's how long I've been following you. You've been following me. And in that 7 months, you have no quit in you. And so as long as you have no quit in you, I'm going to stand with you and fight, and we're going to tackle this thing together because eventually it's going to work. I promise that. So you're noticing small things like how comfortable it is to sit in. Yeah, listen, you're going to notice all kinds of things like that. Getting in, your car seat will buckle better. Your be able to sit in places you didn't think you'd be able to sit. I remember, riding on a roller coaster and doing all of those things, So all of those things are coming and you're going to get more and more of them. And Mika, I miss them too. I don't want to spit names out because it'll make me sad right now, but there was a few of them. One of them, I won't say his name, but my ice cream challenge, man. God, I miss him. There's so many good guys out there that were losing weight, guys and gals, and they're gone. And you get distracted in life, and you try to move forward, but hopefully those people get back at it, and hopefully they just got tired of doing YouTube and they're still losing weight. That would be amazing to know that those people are still around and doing the right things. So Lauren, what's up? You said you missed the OMAD man. I missed the OMAD man too. I'm running out of time. I only wanted to spend about an hour on, so I'm going to wrap it up. But I'm going to tell you now that Steven was a special guy, and again, I started my channel, and I would get up and go to school, and I would post my new video, and then I would just pray that somebody would comment or watch it. And while I was praying for it, I would watch his roughly 20-minute video every morning, and I'd laugh. And then I'd hop over and watch channels like Mika and other people out there. But Steven was a special guy. Had a lot of talent, and I feel like although we lost him, I felt like he was happy at the end. I felt like his channel was great, and I felt like he helped people. And here's a note. I know a lot of people like quotes. I know Mika loves quotes. So this is good for everybody. But and I don't know who said it, but you guys can look it up, and it may be paraphrasing too, but it's something to the effect of, when I die, no one will remember how much money I had. Nobody will know what kind of car I drove or how big my house is, but the impact I made on a boy will always be there. And, you can replace boy with boy and girl, you guys know that stuff. But the bottom line is the impact that Steven had will always be there. Whether or not he's here or not, he got people started that are continuing to lose weight. He got people started that will live longer because they came across his channel. I know a lot of his audience migrated over to me, and a lot of them watch me now. I'm one of the people that keeps them going. So, I'm honored to be a part of his family, in that sense. And I continue to, wish nothing but the best for his daughter. That's who I was just devastated. And then to see her a few times on his channel and how sweet she was just a devastating thing. But at the end of the day, I know that he would want us to keep grinding. He would want us to keep going and keep spreading the word about eating one meal a day, because we're literally eating ourselves to death. And, we've got to fix it. And the only way to fix it is to continue to spread the word. And I got you guys' back. Listen, I'm 7 months in, 2,000 subscribers in, and it was almost at 2,025 today. It is growing at an amazing rate. All of you are amazing. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here day in and day out, 5 times a week, 6 times a week, spreading the good word, spreading the love, letting you guys know that we can do this, that as a team, we can change it. As weight loss warriors, we can fight the biggest fight of our lives, not against gun violence, not against, not that all of those things aren't big things, but right now, obesity is what is destroying us. Obesity is what is crippling our country. It is crippling our world, not just our country. I have viewers from all over the world, and it's hurting all of their cultures too. And we are continuing to ride this bus of insanity straight into the ocean, and we're all going to go. And it's just a sad place to be. And so, and as technology grows, we're just going to get more and more and more grooving in into technology-based things and not into weight loss-based things. So if I can save a few people, I will. All of you, I appreciate all of you. I don't got a lot much more time, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Listen, please check out my future videos and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I appreciate all of you. You guys are the best. Make sure you're helping me spread the word, and you're spreading the word yourself, because it's literally life-changing. Intermittent fasting, OMAD, is literally life-changing. And if we stand together and we fight the fight, we can win. And that is powerful. So I will catch all of you later. I'll catch each and every one of you on the next live. I'll do another one in a couple of weeks for sure. Just continue to show me some love. I appreciate it. I'm going to continue to do everything I can to help you. All of you are amazing. Thank you so much. I'm out of here. Peace.